Okay, let me call to order the Planning Commission meeting of Thursday, July 2nd. We'll begin with a roll call of the commissioners.
Chair Harrison.
Present.
Vice Chair Burbaker is absent. Secretary Timmons.
Here.
Commissioner Golovitz is absent. Commissioner Shaid.
Here.
Commissioner Benitez.
Here.
Thank you.
I think I'll take a discretion of passing on introductions, given the limited attendance. We have a set of minutes to approve from the June 4th meeting. Are there any corrections anyone wishes to make to the minutes? If not, is there a motion to approve them?
I pass your motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Okay. Do you need a roll call on that or just a voice vote?
Secretary Timmons, you cannot vote. You were absent during that meeting. Okay, I would need a second person to make.
One of you needs to make this.
I can't second it either.
No.
So you were it.
You made the motion.
I made the motion.
Then I'll second.
Okay.
That was easy. That was easy.
Okay, so a motion by Commissioner Shaheed and then a second by Chair Harrison. And for a reminder, at this meeting we had present Chair Harrison, Vice Chair Bruce Burbaker, and Commissioner Golovitz and Shaheed. So two of you will have to abstain. I will now call roll. Chair Harrison.
Yes.
Vice Chair Burbaker is absent. Secretary Timmons.
Abstain.
Commissioner Golovitz is absent. And Commissioner Shaheed.
Here.
And then Commissioner Benitez.
Abstain.
There we go.
We were.
Roll. It wasn't roll. It was. Here is now going to mean yes. Is that okay, James?
That's fine, but I think there's only 2 votes then,
Yeah.
so
No, that doesn't pass.
it does not pass.
Okay, we will carry these meeting minutes
Yes.
to the next meeting. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to get through this. All right, meeting minutes of June 4th,
See, we're making the
2026 will be
meeting
held
longer all the
over.
time. Okay, next is the approval of the agenda. Is there anyone who wishes to change anything on the agenda, or shall we approve it as submitted?
Chair, I would like to recommend that we have the presentation from Director of HR Sharon first, and then followed by the presentation from planning staff for the ADU ordinance.
Okay, no objection, let's do that. We're ready. She's hiding over there.
She's hiding in our.
Good evening, Planning Commission. My name is Sharon Taylor. I'm the Human Resources Director. Thank you so much for giving me time on your agenda today to review with you what I believe is important information regarding training requirements by the state of California. And again, I want to thank you for volunteering for your roles here on the commission. Your work is important to our community. I know that you don't have to do this, and I just want to thank you for your service to our community. KCRT, please bring up my PowerPoint. Next slide. So today's presentation will go over the legal framework governing training requirements, the purpose and importance of mandated trainings. We're also going to review recommended trainings with you, the implementation and compliance procedures, resources, and next steps. Next slide. So the legal framework that governs these training requirements are state laws. There's several assembly bills here. There's also a Senate bill that sets forth mandatory training standards. The trainings ensure that officials understand their duties and comply with legal obligations, and they also promote ethical conduct and legal compliance overall as you make your decisions. Next slide. So as stated before, we want to avoid ethical violations. We want to promote transparency. We want openness and accountability in our governance to ensure that we have clear communication with the public that we serve. We want to ensure that you have legal knowledge, the knowledge that you need to carry out your duties. And of course, if the public knows that the officials that are making decisions for our community have been adequately trained, it strengthens their confidence in the work that you carry out. Next slide. We're going to start with required trainings. Ethics training under AB 1234 mandates that ethical training for all officials so that you can recognize conflicts of interest and maintain your integrity as you make decisions. It ensures that you make decisions guided by ethical principles as you carry out your role. Next slide. The Brown Act and open meeting laws are also included in this training as well. The Brown Act mandates transparency in government meetings and ensures public participation in decision-making. There's also open meeting requirements and also the importance of public access to meetings so that the public is able to attend and have a say in the decisions that are being made. Next slide. Fiscal and financial training. This is a new training that started January 1st of 2026 via Senate Bill 827. It requires that local elected officials, along with certain appointees and staff, complete at least 2 hours of comprehensive fiscal and financial training every 2 years. It covers budgeting, audits, debt management, and financial reporting. Next slide. Anti-harassment under AB 1661. It mandates 2 hours of anti-harassment training and abusive conduct prevention for elected officials, board members, and commissioners, and this training is required every 2 years. Next slide. We have trainings that are not mandated by law but strongly recommended. Next slide. These trainings are required for our city employees, and they're strongly recommended for our elected officials, board members, and commissioners. Completing them help you stay informed about the city's safety protocols and operational standards, and it demonstrates a visible commitment to preparedness, professionalism, and community trust. These trainings do cover safety issues. If you are having meetings in our facilities, it's important that you understand our protocol, and your training will support consistent citywide practices when you're on our premises. Next slide. Active shooter training under SB 553. It is a training that is required in California. Unfortunately, it is a required training because of the world that we're living in. It prepares our employees for rapid, unpredictable violence. It improves survival rates, and it helps you make decisions when you're in a very uncomfortable situation with the hope to reduce panic and teach life-saving bleeding control and ensures coordination with law enforcement during critical incidents. Next slide. Workplace violence under SB 553. Again, one of those trainings that are required because of the world that we live in. Workplace violence is very real. I was mandated to create a workplace violence prevention plan for the city of Richmond, and it requires human resources to provide annual training for our employees to keep detailed records of incidents and corrective actions. It's not the same as the anti-harassment training. It is a new requirement focused on preventing and responding to workplace violence. Next slide. Implementation and compliance procedures. Next slide. So we deliver trainings via different methods. We have in-person trainings. We have online modules through our learning management system, NeoGov, and we also have webinars. So we can accommodate different learning preferences and schedules. Next slide. Our official training materials are also accessible for all officials. We regularly update our content to make sure that it's legally relevant and updated with the most recent information. And we also strive to make it convenient through our learning management system, which offers flexible online modules to be accessed anytime. Next slide. So the next steps. Human Resources will be in contact with you. We have a training manager. Her name is Jasmine Ponder. She is here on Zoom if you have any questions regarding our learning management system. You may have seen emails from NeoGov, that is our learning management system, informing you of training requirements that were sent to your emails. It is not spam. It is an official email from Human Resources, and it allows access to our learning management system so that you can complete on-demand training. If you are employed in the state of California, it's likely that you've completed this training with your employer, and if that is the case, you can submit a certificate that you receive from your employer to our email, and that's on the next slide, and we will mark you as complete. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our training and development department. It's training_development@richmondca.gov. This is also the email that you would submit your certificates, and also the email that you would receive any type of training bulletins that we put out on a regular basis. Again, you will receive an email from NeoGov, Learning Management System, that is linking you into our on-demand system. And if you only have so many days to use that link, so if you need us to resend the link, please contact us at the email below. And I'm available for any questions. Thank you for your time.
Great, thank you for your presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
When I got that email, I run a company where we have to do the harassment training, so everybody had it. NeoGov, is that who put, I use the one through the state, so do they have all these other trainings as well?
Yes, well, NeoGov has, it does not have all the other trainings. The active shooter training is an in-person training or a webinar that is put on by our police department, and the workplace violence training, we also do live trainings or online Zoom trainings for those. But the anti-harassment, most of the mandated trainings are in our learning management system.
Do you anticipate that we will be receiving notifications for most of these trainings during the next 12 months?
Yes, we endeavor to follow up with an email to each of you with the information that we reviewed today, as well as instructions on how to log into our learning management system. Again, if you've completed the training, we will document that, and we won't come back around until you're due in about 2 years. Every 2 years, you must complete it. But we plan on monitoring and staying in contact with you.
Okay.
And how much time do we have to complete these trainings? I know it's about 6 hours worth of trainings, and in other things I've done, they're like, you have 30 days or you have 2 months. How much time do we have?
Typically, it is about 30 days because of the importance for the mandated trainings. The highly recommended trainings we offer about quarterly. Again, those aren't required for our elected officials and commissioners. It's just a highly recommended training for you. But yes, once you receive the link, we do ask that you complete it within 30 days. NeoGov will bug you, so if you don't complete it, you will receive regular notifications.
And following this, I'll be sure to send all the commissioners the PowerPoint presentation that Jerome provided tonight, along with a link to tonight's video for the commissioners that were not present so that they can be made aware as well.
Great. Okay, well, thank you very much for your presentation. We'll look forward to communications from your department.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a great evening.
You too.
Chair, if I may, we do need to go back to public forum for Brown Act.
Well, we have no consent calendar items, so public forum, anyone wishing to address the commission on an item not on the agenda is welcome to do so at this time. Cornell.
And we have Cordell.
So, good evening, Chair Harrison, Commissioners. For the record, I am Cordell Henley, and I'm going to revisit the meeting from last month. So, if you recall, when we had the folks from Trans-Montaigne to came and present to talk about the project, one of the concerns that I had raised, and And I read Margarita Meades' letter, and she had addressed all of these concerns, like, regarding the expansion and the hours of operation. That was my concern, because I'm like, I looked at the letter and I said, I agree with each and every one of these comments. That's one. And then also, if you recall the same meeting when we had the the presenter to talk to us about the Cascade Townhomes, I thought the project looked wonderful, just from a perspective. I'm like, oh, this would be perfect for someone to live in the in those types of houses. So I do like the color schemes of it, and I thought it was helpful. And then my other issue is, let's see, at that last meeting, I was like, if you recall when we had the UCSF folks came last time, one of the concerns that I had raised was like security along the property, because I know from experience, because I have observed it myself. It's like there's no security at this site. So I talked to the Hilltop District Council, and they were like, they did have concerns about this project. So all in all, in the future, I'm going to say it again for the record, that anytime when projects come before either design review board or this body, the applicant must communicate with the neighborhood council, like, to get our input. And I'll leave it at that, and I'll pass my time to Samantha.
Thank you. Do we have any other in attendance who wish to address the commission on an item not on the agenda?
Yes, we have Samantha Torres.
All right. Good evening, Planning Commission Chair, Commissioners and staff. My name is Samantha Torres, also known as Coach Sam. I am the president of the Richmond United Soccer Club. We are a volunteer nonprofit that has served Richmond families since 1995. I hope you are all enjoying the summer of soccer. The FIFA World Cup is winding down, but this Sunday, our club is launching an adult recreational program at MLK Park, including walking soccer, women's only, and co-ed play, and we would love to see you there. I'm here regarding PLN 26-0187, our request for a conditional use permit for the proposed McDonald mini field project. This project would temporarily activate the vacant city-owned lots at 12th Street and McDonald Avenue with community soccer fields until permanent development occurs. Richmond faces a chronic shortage of safe, accessible soccer fields. These city-owned McDonald Avenue lots have sat vacant for nearly 15 years, and our club is prepared to build, maintain, insure, and steward this space at no cost to the city. This project uses minimal reversible infrastructure, so the site can easily be restored when development is ready to move forward. This isn't a new idea. Richmond has supported temporary recreational uses before, and cities like Alameda, Sebastopol, and Oakland have partnered with nonprofits to activate vacant land while awaiting future development. I'd like to leave you with a few lingering questions. How long have these city-owned lots remained vacant? Which neighborhoods bear the greatest burden of blight and underutilized land? How does maintaining vacant land benefit the already burdened Richmond taxpayer? If a nonprofit is willing to maintain, insure, and activate public land at no cost to the city, shouldn't we explore that opportunity? Temporary activation is not delaying development. It's creating public benefit while we wait for development to happen. Richmond United Soccer Club has applied through the city's Adopt a Spot program because we do want to care for this space. Unfortunately, this application has gone unanswered, but our commitment to improving these lots has not changed. We are not outside developers. We are a multi-generational all-volunteer Richmond organization that has invested in local youth for more than 30 years. Our proposal has earned more than 925 petition signatures, the endorsement of the Iron Triangle Neighborhood Council, and support from several McDonald Avenue businesses and community organizations. I invite you to read more at mcdonaldminifields.com. Tonight, I respectfully ask for your support and your direction to city staff to help make this temporary community asset a reality. Thank you for your service to Richmond and for your consideration. I wish you and your families a safe and happy Independence Day as we celebrate our nation's 250th birthday. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation or your comment. Is this, Avery, is this an item that we will be seeing at some point in the future, or is it not scheduled yet?
This is an application that the city has received, but at this time it is a public comment and no response is
Yeah,
required of
right,
staff
not
of the
tonight,
commission.
but I'm curious, it's something that the city is working on at some level?
An application has been received
Okay.
and will proceed.
That answers mine. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, are there any other individuals wishing to address the commission this evening, either present or online?
No, not this time.
So there's nobody online? Okay, well then we're done with public forum. We'll move on to the public hearings. We have one public hearing tonight, PLN 25-019, the ADU code update. And I will turn it over to staff for a presentation.
Good evening, Planning Commission. This evening, we are joined by Michelle Morris of our Long Range Planning Division, a mighty division of one, to present to you on the update to the ADU code. Take it away.
Good evening, Chair Harrison and Planning Commissioners. I'm Michelle Morris, Senior Planner for Long Range Planning here at the City of Richmond. I'm presenting an overview of the amendments proposed to the city's accessory dwelling unit ordinance. Due to subsequent changes to the state ADU laws, we've updated the draft ADU ordinance that was presented to you on April 2nd, 2026 Planning Commission meeting, and I'm presenting the updated ordinance to you today. The purpose today is to review recommended amendments to the city's accessory dwelling unit ordinance, Richmond Municipal Code Section 15.04.610.02, and related changes to sections 15.04.104, 15.04.201, 0.030, and 15.04.201.05. The recommended actions for today is one, to hold a public hearing and adopt resolution number 26-15, recommending the Richmond City Council approve zoning text amendments to the articles listed above. I won't make you go through that again. Of the Richmond Municipal Code related to accessory dwelling units and junior accessory dwelling units. The slide illustrates an attached and a detached ADU and junior ADU definitions. An accessory dwelling unit is an attached or detached residential dwelling that provides complete independent living facilities for one or more persons and is located on the same lot as a proposed or existing single-family dwelling or multi-family dwelling. It shall include permanent provisions for living, sleeping, eating, cooking, and sanitation on the same parcel that the single-family or multi-family dwelling is or will be situated. An accessory dwelling unit may be within the same structure as the primary dwelling, as you can see in the illustrations, in an attached structure or in a separate detached structure on the lot. A junior accessory dwelling unit, JADU, means a unit that is no more than 500 square feet of interior livable space and size and contained entirely within a single-family residence. A JADU may include separate sanitation facilities or may share sanitation facilities within the existing structure. So those definitions are now clear. It wasn't clear before. People kept having questions about cooking and sanitation and how you get to those things in the house. And so that's why I'm giving it to you very clearly. In October 2024, the State Department of Housing and Community Development, otherwise known as HCD, completed a review of the city's accessory dwelling unit and junior accessory dwelling unit ordinance adopted in November of 2020. On July 17th, 2025, the Planning Commission recommended a draft ordinance be presented to the City Council. And then we came back again in April. State changes to law were enacted on October 10th, 2025, and also this year, January 1st, 2026. The proposed ordinance brings the city's municipal code into compliance with recent changes to state law. Some examples are what I'm showing you here. JADUs can be in attached garages. The rules for height of accessory dwelling units have been updated. For example, an additional 2 feet in height is allowed to accommodate a roof pitch on an ADU that's aligned with the roof pitch of the primary dwelling unit. And no replacement parking is required when covered parking is demolished or converted in conjunction with the construction of an ADU. Other amendments that we included have to do with rental restriction. An ADU or JDU may not be rented for fewer than 30 days. A property with a JDU must be owner occupied unless it's owned by another agency or an organization. And an attached ADU on a lot listed as a historic resource must meet relevant standards such as the the Secretary of Interior standards. Examples of recent legislation that brings us here to you again today is SB 477 regarding relocated and renumbered sections of the government code that apply to the ADU law. So they rearranged all their numbers so they're sequential and a little bit easier to find when you go to their website. It also includes a more clear definition of livable space, and it also talks about uncovered parking. So for ADUs, uncovered off-street parking spaces demolished don't need to be replaced, as I said previously. Another example of the new legal framework for ADUs and JADUs is Senate Bill 543. That talks about by right combinations of ADUs. And you see the list of things here. This is a very simplified way of describing these by right combinations, but it is spelled out in the ordinance in detail. So one example is one that doesn't come up as often are multifamily dwellings. You can have 2 detached ADUs on a lot with a proposed multifamily dwelling. That's number 4. So there's all kinds of combinations that are by right and pretty easy for people to apply for. During the 60-day period that someone applies for an ADU, the city must return in writing a full set of comments to the applicant with a list of items that are defective or deficient and a description of how the application can be remedied by the applicant. So we must approve or deny their application within 60 days for standard ADU applications. For pre-approved plans that people use, and we do have those on our website, we have 30 days to approve or deny their applications. Which brings me to my next slide. The ADU guidebook. This guidebook is in the middle of being updated, and we plan to have it completely updated to align with state law before we go to City Council if you approve this ordinance today to be recommended to the City Council. Planning has vetted and posted the pre-approved plans for detached ADUs on our website. The use of a pre-approved plan set for a detached ADU project will bypass planning's review of the ADU application and allow the project to go directly to building's permit review. Planning will participate in the final check before the building permit issuance. The toolkit includes 4 different pre-approved plan sets for detached ADUs. That's one, I think that's 2 examples there in the picture. I have better pictures on the next slide. And on the next page, let's go to that, I have where you can look at the pre-approved plans and check them out yourself. These are examples of bungalow, contemporary, Spanish revival style, and Tudor compatible styles. The pre-approved plans are for 2-bedroom detached ADUs that we've developed and posted there. To conclude, we're asking the Planning Commission at this public hearing to adopt the resolution, which is attached to the agenda report as attachment 2, which recommends approval of the amendments to the Richmond Municipal Code pertaining to accessory dwelling units and junior accessory dwelling units. Thank you. I'm available for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Does anyone have questions of staff on this? Yes, please go.
I do. Two things. Thank you for coming and sharing this contact. Wanted to know a little bit more about the timeline for updating the ADU toolkit. And then also, could staff explain like the clerical error that was mentioned in the memo? Because I know some of this stuff, I joined earlier this year, the commission, and we reviewed some of this stuff, and it doesn't seem that there were that many changes. And so what was the clerical error? Thank you.
Sure. So after this meeting, I have about a month, maybe, to update the guidebook and bring it up to code. There aren't that many changes. There's just a lot of the changes you saw here today is what we need to edit in the guidebook. I'd say the guidebook's probably accurate up until last spring, and then they changed the rules twice in 1 year. The clerical errors were some of the strikeouts that we had gone through earlier this year that inadvertently didn't get included in the version of the strikeouts that I gave you in April. And there are a lot of them, and they're confusing. So, but we got that straightened away, thanks to James and his team here. So in an abundance of caution, I'm back here with you today. So this is the version I would be taking to City Council. And they would get the strikeouts and the clean version.
Any other questions?
I have one or two. Thank you first for making this presentation. First one, what happens if the city fails to respond to these applications?
If we don't respond to those applications in a timely manner, conceivably it could go to the building permit review without planning's approval. So we generally catch any discrepancies or deficiencies in the application pretty quickly. I'm not one of those staff who does that work anymore, but we do have the staff present, and he's pretty good at catching those types of things, and we're definitely aware of when we're under the deadline. And that's when the pre-approved plans come into play really well. We can encourage more people to use our pre-approved plans when we have detached ADUs. But generally, people come in before they apply and get those kinds of questions ironed out ahead of time. It's not that often that we deny. Deny is not a word we use much for ADUs. It's more like, you need to fix this so that we can move you forward.
And clarity for the record, we've never denied an ADU in the city of Richmond. There's only been required changes that would be needed to conform to state law.
Thank you. Another question is, what about all the illegal ADUs? How do you work with those applicants or homeowners that got caught running those type of housings in their backyard?
My understanding is when people come to the counter and they've got a code enforcement violation notice, they're there and we want them to go ahead and fix the problems with the ADU. That can be done by applying for and bringing their home up to code. So we tend to want to work with people, and it may take a little while to get it under code, but that's the attitude that we have. We're not there to penalize people. We're trying to get more housing that's up to code and safe for people. So that's the goal.
Thank you. No more questions for me.
Okay, at this point, let me open the public hearing. Anyone who wishing to address the commission on this item, for or against, or any questions anyone may have, please come forward at this point. Okay, there's no one here in the chambers. Is there anyone online?
No, no one is online.
Okay, then I will close the public hearing. What's the wish of the commission? You just want to adopt? Are you saying, are you saying we move it forward on the motion?
I would move forward on person, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, to me, this just looks like you cleaned up a lot of the definitions, which is always a good thing. And looks like it's ready to go. And Lord knows we need it. So, you want me to
yeah, if you
make
could.
a motion? So, what do I say? Okay. So I want to adopt the resolution number, this number? 2615. Do I say that, or do I say the PLN 25? I read this whole thing?
The resolution, I think, is what's
Oh,
going
okay.
to the,
So-
going to the council, I believe.
I motion we adopt resolution number 2615 recommending approval of zoning text amendments to section 15.04.104.020, 15.04.201.030, 15.04.201.050, and 15.04.610.020 of the Richmond Municipal Code related to accessory dwelling units and junior accessory dwelling units as proposed in, well,
As opposed to the staff
as,
report.
yeah, as proposed in the staff report.
Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, why don't we have a vote?
Chair Harrison,
Yes?
Vice Chair Brubaker is absent. Secretary Timmons,
Yes.
Commissioner Golovitz is absent. Commissioner Shahid,
Yes.
and Commissioner Benitez.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 4-0. I guess we have elections of officers is deferred until August. Is there any communication from staff at this point?
No, this is just me putting it on your radar that next meeting we will have the election of officers. And a reminder that if any of you, if your terms are going to expire, which does not apply to the two of us here on the left, but for Chair Harrison and Timmons, if you haven't received a notification from the clerk's office, please follow up with me and I can make sure that you've been given anything you need to be reinstated and reappointed by the mayor. And then we'll hold elections of officers next meeting. It's a very straightforward process by nomination, and we'll go through that procedurally next meeting, but I just wanted to make sure people are aware that that will be an agendized item.
Is the next meeting July? Or is it August? I thought I saw we have a second meeting in July. Do we? Or?
They took it off.
Oh, they took it off?
It is August 6th.
Excellent.
Sorry, you do not have another meeting in July. No.
Through the chair, just one question, and you can tell me if it's already in the handbook, but do we have information on like what the secretary does, what all the titles do within the handbook? If so, I will look at it, but if not, if you can email.
For the most part, the duties and responsibilities are outlined in the bylaws, and so I can send around another copy of those bylaws. And in addition to that, as I've provided in the past, and I could provide again, is the guidebook that was produced by the California League of Cities, which is a very helpful resource in understanding what it means to be a planning commissioner and what kind of the responsibilities and the roles and the decisions that you'd be making. And then inside of that, it's also a larger handbook on just what it means to be a public servant and kind of to be an appointed member of any commission that makes a decision for a public agency. So I will go ahead and recirculate all of those along with the bylaws. And the bylaws also speak to the process for how we will do elections and through nomination, and we'll kind of just go for chair, vice chair, and then secretary.
Great.
Yes.
So those would be very helpful. I appreciate your
And-
for.
Is the Brown Act, I can just Google that, right?
I
'Cause
can,
I haven't looked at that in a long time.
I can certainly send you resources on the Brown Act. Some of it is training that will be offered by HR through the NeoGov, which is good timing that you heard about that today. And so I can always ask them to also follow
was
up.
Trained in it years ago.
Okay. Yeah, we can
Many years
certainly,
ago.
I can certainly send around information on the Brown Act. And then just Robert's rules, just how a meeting is conducted and the process for motioning and voting and things of that nature, as it doesn't happen to get too complicated here, but certainly helpful. So if I can find some videos or some tutorials, I'll certainly send them your way.
All right, thank you. If there's no further discussion from any of the commissioners, I will adjourn the meeting at 7:11. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.